Okay, I'm working on making backing tracks. Let's go back here. Let's get this thing reset. Let's see. Looks like we're working on the song Cruise. I'm using karaokeversion.com to do this. I pay for the tracks. You buy your tracks and your licensing and everything right from the company, which is awesome. So it's all done right there online. And then once you own the track, you can mix it any way you want. So these are all of your different instruments on here. And when I play it, you can hear what it sounds like. Alright. So, making backing tracks for a 4-piece band. The band is guitar, bass, drums, and a vocalist. The guitar player will play all of the lead parts, and he will be playing some rhythm parts whenever he's not playing lead. So some of the guitar stuff we will actually need to keep in the track. We will not need bass guitar. We will not need drums. The vocal tracks that are on here, I will keep those for the musicians to use as a vocal guide. So when I mix it, it'll be mixed that it only goes to the musicians in the in-ear mix, in the in-ear monitors. And it's a very low volume, about 30% of its actual volume. It's mainly as a guide that we can use for rehearsals when the vocalist is not there. Then the musicians can still play along to the track and we have a vocal guide. It's real low in the mix. So once we actually start singing the songs live, it gets drowned out in our ears. And it never goes out front. So what we do is we split the tracks. When I mix it down, everything that we need for the musicians to hear on stage goes to the left side, and that gets sent directly to our in-ear monitors by the stage people, the sound guys. They'll send that to our in-ears. Everything that's mixed to the right side of the track will get sent out to the audience. So all you hear is the actual music. You hear the music from the backing track mixed in with the music that we're making on stage at the time. So it sounds like one full band. What we hear on stage is the click from the metronome and the talking where I introduce the song. I'll say, Cruise, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I count us in, okay? We hear all that stuff in our ears, but you don't hear that out front. And it's the way we mix it, split left and right. That's how we keep everything separate. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I go about doing these backing tracks. I'm not doing anything that's crazy hard to do. It is time consuming more than anything, because each time you download one of these backing tracks, you have to line everything up so that it matches the metronome. I'm using a DAW, a digital audio workstation, people call them a DAW, in order to mix each of these individual tracks to make one completed track in the end. I'm going to need 4 tracks here, minimum. I'm going to go ahead and make this full screen until I get this set up. I like to shrink these down so that I can see them a little better when I line them up. Let's go ahead and get that set up. Alright, so the first thing I do is I download the click track, which is a metronome. What I'm going to do, I'm going to play this and I'm going to mute everything. Each instrument I'm going to mute one at a time until you hear we're just down to the click track. So now we got a click track. Once we have that click track, I can download it. These are called stems in the industry. They call them stems. I can download each individual stem. If I wanted to, I could download each one of these separately and put it all in here and mix it however I want in my DAW. That's another way to do things. But we don't need everything, and we don't need to get that super crazy with it. So let me see if this is downloaded. Alright, Florida Georgia Line Cruise. Right there. We're going to go ahead and copy this in here. My backing or my click track I always copy twice. I'll show you why in a minute. Let's go ahead and stop that clicking. We don't need it. There we go. Let's go back over to the DAW. It should be in here now. Let's go ahead and move these all the way to the beginning of the track. I should have lined this up first. There we go. There we go. Alright. The next step is for me to make a cue. So there's going to be a cue track. That's where I talk to the band and I'll say the name of the song and a count in. I need to make that. In order to make that, I need my voice memo. I'm going to go ahead and play the click. So I'm going to rewind this to the beginning. Get this click reset. I didn't mean to do all that. I guess technically I could do it right here. Let's just start this. Cruise. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't like the way I did that, so I'm going to redo it. Here we go. Cruise. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, now we can stop this. I didn't want that long of a lead in for this, so now we have this. We're going to call this Cruise. So I know what file I have here. I typically I will copy these into my Whisper folder here. I don't need that anymore. Pull this up. I should have Cruise right here. Drag that into here. Now I have to line that up with what we already have.
Cruise. 1,
You can hear
2,
it's not lined up
3,
right now.
4.
So I need to line it up. So I'm going to blow this up a little bit so I can see better. I want to line these sound files up. And get rid of some of this extra that I have here. I don't need all that. And when I back this up,
Cruise. 1, 2, 3, 4.
there you go. So we got that part lined up. There is an intro, usually 2 bars of intro that they include in here. Sometimes it's 1 bar, sometimes it's 2 bars. I'm going to leave this alone for now, but I will need to align this once I get these tracks downloaded. So now I'm going to get rid of the click track here. We already got rid of the drums and the bass. We don't need those. Let's see. I do have a guitar player, so I'll always look for a lead electric guitar and get rid of it. We don't need it. Our lead guitar player will be playing all those leads, so I'll just leave that out of here. But some of these other backing guitars, these like acoustic guitars, I will usually leave those in, but I'll bring them back to 50% because I don't want people to look up on the stage and see 4 guys and hear 15. But I want enough of that sound to fill out what we have on the stage. When that guitar player is playing his lead and there's no other guitar going on, it's very empty. So it's easy for us to fill that in using the backing track. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these other guitars back. The banjo, we don't have a banjo on stage, so I don't want a lot of that to be prominent either, so I'm going to back it off, but it is going to still be there. This dulcimer, I'm not sure how busy it is. Let's listen to this a minute. Yeah, the dulcimer only plays twice in here. I'm going to leave it out completely. That organ's very strong. I'm going to back it off. I do want a little bit of it, but I don't want it to be very prominent. But there we go. I think that sounds pretty good right there. So we're going to go ahead and download that. Now, while that's downloading, I'll explain something else to you. So, like I said, I need to split these tracks left and right. The things for the musicians on stage have to go to the left side. So that's going to be the click track, the whisper track, and the vocal guide when I get to that. So I'm going to go ahead and get these panned to the left, 100% to the left. Try that again. I missed it. There we go, 100%, 100%. All right. So those are already panned to the left. The other thing with this second click track that I put in here, now that I have my count done, I only need this to go to the end of the count. So let's shrink that down like that. Go back to the beginning.
Cruise. 1, 2, 3, 4.
There you go. All right, so this looks like it is done. Let's go ahead and bring it up. All right, this should be my track right here. Let's go ahead and put it in there. See if this is our track. Let's mute everything else. I don't need to hear that. I just want to hear this. That's your count in that they include. Alright, start over. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. So this is going to have to be lined up now with my count in. So I'm going to unmute my count in and just click.
Cruise. 1, 2, 3.
So I can move this down. Sorry. And you can see this is where it needs to line up. Right here. If I blow this up a little bit and make it bigger, you can actually see when I get the marker on the line, it'll be lined up. So there's that. Then this here, I want to line it up on the line so it matches. I need these two clicks to be together, so I'm going to go ahead and mute my voice, and I'm going to listen to the clicks. Music. There you go. So those are lined up.
1, 2.
Let's go to the beginning with my cue track.
Cruise. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. So far so good. Now I need that track, the music track, to be all the way to the right. So I'm going to pan that to the right. The next thing is this vocal guide that I like to do. So I'm going to mute everything except for the vocals. I'm going to bring the vocals back on. Here's the vocals. When it comes back around here, let's see here. It's right in the middle.
When that summer sun fell to its knees, baby, you a song and make me want to roll
Okay.
my window.
Again, this is just going to be a vocal guide, so I'm going to download it. And then when that's done, I will drag it into here. So I'm going to need another track. So let's go ahead and get that set up right now. Shrink it down. I hate it when it's like that. Looks like it's done. Let's open it up. Should be it. Right here maybe. Let's see. Nope, that's the other one. Is this it?
Baby, you a song and make me wanna
All right.
roll my windows down and cruise.
Now, let's go ahead and drag that in here. There we go. Now, going to line this up just like we did the other ones. Shrink this down a little bit so I can see all of the tracks. There we go. So here's my vocal track. I need these to line up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute everything except for these two clicks for the music track and the vocal track to make sure that they are on.
Baby, you a song and me.
There it is. Now let's go back to the beginning. Now here's something that you got to keep in mind. These clicks are now in the vocal and the music track that is going, the music track is going out to the audience. I don't want that going out to the audience. I don't want that click going out to the audience. So I'm going to get rid of that in the right side. I don't need it here because I already have a click up here, so I'm going to take it out. I only use it to get everything lined up. Once it's lined up, I don't need that anymore in those other two tracks. I'm going to go ahead and unmute everything now. We're going to go back to the beginning. And this is what it should sound like.
Cruise. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Baby, you a song and make me wanna roll my windows down and cruise.
Okay. Now, like I said, the vocal is just a guide. So what I'd like to do,
Hey, baby. Yeah, when I first saw that bikini top on her, she's popping right out
I
of
don't
the
want that
South
going out to
Georgia
the
water.
audience.
Thought, oh, good Lord, she had them long tan legs, couldn't help myself, so I
So what we're
walked
gonna
up
do,
and said, well, baby, you a song
we're
and
gonna
make
turn
me
it
wanna
down.
roll my windows down, cruise.
It's just a guide. We're gonna pan it all the way to the left so that only we can hear it. And I'm going to turn it down to about 30%. Alright, so now it's very soft. Listen. You can barely hear it. And that's where we want it. It's just a guide. It's not something that we used it for performance and for you guys to hear. So that's done. Let's check and make sure that it ends together since it starts together. Let's make sure the ending is right. There you go. That's a backing track. Now, all of these need to be combined into one file that we can use. So I'm going to convert this into an MP3 file. Rename it first so I know what song it is. We're going to change this to MP3 at 320 kbps, kilobeats per second. That will get us kilobits per second. That'll get us the best bit rate for an MP3 that we can get. And when it comes through the sound system, it should sound pretty realistic. We're going to render that. It takes a couple of seconds to do that. Now we can test it.
Cruise. 1, 2, 3, 4.
There you go. We have a backing track. let's go ahead and open the folder that it's in. Let's get this out of the way. Let's get this out of the way a little bit so I can see. I want to drag this into my completed folder over here. This is where all of my completed ones are, and then once I get these all built, I can airdrop those into both of my iPads and even onto my phone. I like to have it in a few different places so that if something happens, my iPad dies or whatever, we have redundancy built in. We got another iPad we can use, or my phone. So they're just MP3 files. That's why I use MP3s. They're small enough that we can fit a lot of them in each different device, and we're covered no matter what. All right, and that's how this is done. You can see it's a little bit time consuming, but I have like 50 of these I got to do, so I'm going to be busy for a while. Thanks for hanging out.